If you think prices are going to be going up for real estate, you are mistaken. I'm going to show you a few reasons of all the leading indicators that are showing us why exactly prices will be coming down. They're not going to be going up. If you're a buyer, you may want to wait. If you're a seller, slash your price right now. Let me get into this. And right now I am over on Nathan Benderson Park in Sarasota, Florida. My name is Maciek. I'm a real estate agent. And the first point that I want to make is about our interest rates. So first thing is that we just got a jobs report. And this jobs report did not give an indication that in the March Fed meeting, we would have any interest rate decreases. It was the opposite. We're probably just going to be delaying that. See, because we've been not promised, but we've been told we're going to have up to six interest rate decreases in the next 18 to 24 months. And the first one that could happen would be in March. But this jobs report did not indicate that was going to be happening so soon. And frankly, I've already been mentioning in videos that I don't think we're going to be having any in the first half of the year, but I do think we're going to have them in the second half of 2024. The main thing is that this is an election year. And during this election season, I think that the Democrats are going to show that they can fix the economy by decreasing the rates a little bit for all the buyers out there, and it will probably get some people that are sitting on the fence to go and do something about it. But will it actually do enough? And I don't think so. And now that we're kind of seeing more indicators that we're not going to have one in March, this just kind of goes to solidify what I'm thinking is going to happen, and that is one, maybe two, right before the election. So in the late summer, we're probably going to have one, and then end of summer might have another one. And then if we do, they're going to be small. They're probably going to be 0.25%, nothing drastic. But then right after the election, I think things will reset no matter who goes into office, and they'll go right back up instead of staying down like some people are thinking might happen. As interest rates go down, the demand goes up. But even if in March we have an interest rate decrease, will the demand go up high enough to cause a supply situation where there's more demand than supply, causing prices to go up? No, that's the bottom line of it. I do not think that's going to happen. I'm not expecting this to happen anytime soon. Like I said, about 3 years. So take a look at January 2027. In fact, I'd like to kind of watch this video again and see what ends up happening. Now, the next reason is that our inventory, which is our supply of homes for sale, has been going up in double digits month after month after month. Now, I don't know about you, but what happens when prices are caused by supply and demand? What happens is more supply you have, prices go down. So will prices go up? No. As our inventory increases, prices are going to eventually catch up to that. But it does take a little while. So why is there a lagging effect on this? Think about it like this. If you're a seller and you have a home that you have to sell, within the next 6 months or so, and you've put it on the market and you have only 200 competitors. Well, you put it on the market, hopefully you get some showings out of it, and if you're priced right, you'll sell. But if not, if you're just trying to squeeze as much money out of it as possible, you're gonna let it sit there, eventually decrease your price or do some upgrade. But as the months go on, you have 10%, as 1 month goes by and you have 10% more competitors, you just went from 200 to 220 competitors. And then another month goes by, you went from 220 to 242, I think. So it just keeps going up and up and up. So by the way, if you're a seller right now, you should really consider pricing it to sell, because all indicators right now are pointing to this situation where we're actually going to be having eventually price decreases. Where are we today? January 2024. We are finally, at least in Florida, at least in Sarasota, we are finally at the equilibrium point of a balanced market. That means that neither the sellers nor the buyers are in control of who dictates the prices. It's pretty much a situation where it's fair. But does that mean that you're going to get full 100% on your price as a seller? No. Does that mean you're going to pay full price as a buyer? No. There's negotiations that are happening, and it's really nice to be in this market. But the fact is that a lot of people who have to sell are competing with more and more homes than they were just in November, just in October, just in September. There's so many more homes for sale, and if you have to sell, well, you have to decrease your price. Unless, of course, your property can be cleaned up a little bit, but most homes have been already cleaned up by the time they hit the market. So new home builders are the next reason why prices will not be going up. They're probably going to be coming down. New construction is currently taking about 1 out of 3 sales out there. And there's not even that many homes being built. So it's really interesting how the new construction keeps selling, they keep building, and they keep going through. And how are they getting this done? Well, it's really a disguise. So let me get into the few reasons on what the advantages the builders have that you as a home seller don't have or may not be willing to do. First thing is that new construction, well, they're competing with everybody out there. And to be very powerful in the negotiations, they have abilities that you don't have as a seller. Here's what they do. First thing is the interest rate. So aside from the 2-1 buy down, which you might have heard of, where they buy down your interest rate for 2 years and then a different for 1 year. So you basically get a reduced interest rate for 24 months. It's really nice. Aside from that, which you can do, what you can't do is the following. They have a loan incentive program. For example, I just went to a new construction community over in Venice, Magnolia Bay, and the program that they have is a 5.75% interest rate. And that is for whether you do an FHA loan or a VA loan or a conventional loan, 5% down, doesn't matter. That is the interest rate you're going to get if you use their lender. And the way they do this is before breaking ground on, a large plot of land, they actually go and pay a lender a very large lump sum of money to lock in an X amount of loans that they're going to do at a particular interest rate. That way they can go out, advertise that interest rate, and hopefully secure a whole bunch of people. Now, I have a client who's been looking at some properties to purchase. I did the number crunch. He never ended up going out there to look at those properties, but I did some number crunching, and let me tell you, buying new construction at 5.75% interest rate is a very big difference on your monthly payment compared to just a regular resale home, which you're getting an older home, and then you have a higher interest rate. And you have less negotiation power when it comes to having the seller pay, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 to paying down points to lower your interest rate. The second thing that new construction has is brand new. I mean, who doesn't want a brand new house? It's just so beautiful and it's just so nice. Obviously, most people prefer to have a brand new home, brand new construction, rather than somebody's old, 1987 home that just kind of looks dated and needs upgrades and has wear and tear and maybe has a little bit of smells from cigarettes or dogs or something like that. New construction is it's like a car. You get that new car smell, you get a new house smell. It's subliminal and it's hard to put a number on it, but at the end of the day, think about it like this. Would you rather have new or would you rather have old? And most people would choose new. On the flip side, you get less character with the new construction unless you custom build your own house, in which case you're not getting all these deals that I'm talking about. Now listen, I'm not saying new construction is the way to go, but right now new construction is competing aggressively with resales, and resales are going to have to lower their price if they want to be competitive, or they're going to have to lower their bottom line because they're going to pay for points or repairs or something like that. So really, when you compare the two, the new construction is the way to go. And if you're a seller, you got to do something. What are you going to do to compete and look a lot better to a buyer? Because there's more and more homes out there for sale. Listen, I do not think prices are going to be going up. I really think they're going to be coming down. And when are they going to hit rock bottom? Who knows? But when are prices going to hit rock bottom? I don't know. They have decreased about 10%. Approaching 10% in my local area. And even though Florida has a net migration, there's more people moving here than there are leaving and dying. So even though that's happening, we still have a whole bunch of homes hitting the market right now for sale. And eventually, it's going to take months, if not half a year to a year. Eventually, as more and more homes hit the market, there's going to be some of these sellers that are private sellers that say, I can't wait any longer, slash it, I'm going to take a loss, or I'm going to profit less. And then next thing you know, everyone starts following the trend. You know, we're in this place where inventory is rising and rising and rising and rising, but we're not yet there to slash the prices. And once that first person starts really being aggressive, the neighbor might do the next move, and then it just starts spreading from there. But we really need to have more inventory than we do right now for that to happen. And we're not far away from it. I'm telling you, we are not far. Even though it's a quote unquote balanced market, the buyers think that they have all the advantages right now, and they have a lot of advantages, I will say that. And the sellers think that the buyers are out there paying cash for everything, and they're not. They're not doing that. That is not happening anymore. What questions do you have about real estate and the Florida real estate market? I'll show you statistics and data. I'll show you everything you need to see so you can make a smart decision on whether you need to buy or sell, or neither, and stay put exactly where you are. Right now, I'm staying put exactly where I am unless I find something with built-in equity. So let me just touch on this real quick, and then this video will be over. Built-in equity is almost a position that makes sense always to buy, even if we have high interest rates. Let me give you an example. If I found a home that's today worth $500,000, it may still go down in the next 2 to 3 years, another 10%, another $50,000. But I find it and can get it under contract for $380,000, and it needs no repairs, nothing like that. That's $120,000 of built-in equity. To me, that just makes sense. That just makes sense to buy. So regardless if prices are going to come down or go up or stay the same for the next 3 years, there are situations where it makes sense to buy. And if that example of that $500,000 house for $380,000 needs a little more, clarity, you're buying in equity. But what if it rents for $500 more than your mortgage payment would be? Is that not a good deal? Like, regardless if the prices fall, and let's just say the prices fall to $380,000, and now you have no more built-in equity, but it takes 3 years. Well, you have 3 years of $500 a month in profit. I mean, does that not make sense? So I always treat investments a little bit differently than I do single-family residences. Investments are all about the numbers. And for my home, it's about more than that. It's not just about the numbers. In fact, the numbers sometimes can look really bad on my home purchase if everything else makes a lot of sense. It has adequate room, it's what we're looking for, and so on. Investments is really about the numbers. So if you can buy something with built-in equity and profiting every month, go for it. It doesn't matter if prices are going to come down, as long as you don't have just like a 2-year plan or something. You got to make it a 5 to 10-year plan of holding that investment in case prices keep going down and down and down for years, if not a decade. What if they keep coming down 10% for 10 years? You're going to be at half value, if not a little less. So now you're negative equity, but that's highly unlikely to happen, So if you need to buy, go buy. If you need to sell, go sell. And if you really need to sell, just slash the price and get it over with, because prices will be coming down. It's just delayed. That's all. It's one of the lagging metrics. The leading metric for that is how many homes are hitting the market for sale, our active inventory, and that's been growing. So I'm seeing the signs right now. Inventory is growing, prices will drop. It's inevitable.